This news update is brought to you by...
Say hello to Carol. Carol talks for a living, from morning till night. So she relies on Flo's crystal clear home phone service brought to her through Flo's 100% fiber to the home network. It keeps her in the know, and because she bundles her mobile broadband and TV services, she enjoys huge savings, so she can enjoy much more for much less. So visit any Flo retail outlet, call 1-800-804-2994, or visit discoverflow.co to find out more. One-of-a-kind connection. This is how we flow.
It's Tuesday, March 1, and time for the Barbados Today evening update. A warm welcome to you. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Government will pump $8 million into the financially troubled British American insurance company Barbados Limited. Finance Minister Chris Sinclair says the money will be used to supplement the pension fund as part of solutions to the woes plaguing the company. Sinclair made the announcement as he piloted the second reading of the BAICO Preservation of Investments Bill 2016. Minister Sinclair says the government will also take over ownership of BAICO properties, estimated at $26.6 million.
The government's financial support for the restructuring plan of the life and annuity book of BAICO and its transfer to Sagicor eventually came to be described from analyses as such. That the government will provide $84.6 to be exact, million in bonds payable in 4-year payouts over 25 years period. 2, that the government will accept the transfer of the property assets, and I will get to that and why that had to be the case, from BAICO statutory fund totaling $26.6 million as a trade-off once the bond proposal arrangement was accepted by Sagicor. 3, that the government will waive the property transfer tax, obviously, and the stamp duty applicable to the transfer, and that the government, 4, will support the BAICO employees' pension plan, which currently covers 72 members of the staff, and which is expected to record a shortfall of about $8 million Barbados dollars.
Meantime, opposition leader Mia Motley says while she supports the government's intervention to protect the assets of Barbadians, she is equally concerned about its impact on the island's debt situation.
While we accept that the government has chosen to intervene and the Barbados Labour Party would have agreed to the intervention and called for it, 1, to be able to insulate tens of thousands of families from falling through the cracks, and 2, to be able to provide a greater level of confidence in our financial system, because if people just simply lost tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars, they would be thinking twice and 3 times before investing anything in this country again. Well, we accept that. We believe, however, that the government has stopped short in one respect, and that is to be able to recover as much as it can to minimize the liability, as well as to send the message that this must not happen again when people act in trust for people's money.
Opposition leader Mia Motley, and still on the floor of Parliament, the second reading of the Trafficking in Persons Prevention Bill 2016 was also piloted today by Attorney General Adriel Brathwaite. He told legislators that the bill seeks to address some of the deficiencies in the previous act.
The deficiencies were in particular with respect to the issue of trafficking within our shores. The U.S. State Department raised the issue of the level of penalties that a trafficker was possibly subjected to in comparison with certain other offenses. It was felt that the penalties under our present act were not stringent enough, and thus you will see that in this draft bill there's some very severe penalties for persons who who are found guilty of trafficking of persons. And the whole issue of confiscation of assets. It is an area that we have spent some time on. We've sent the signal that we need to take the profit out of crime.
In other news, not enough is being done to ensure that people with disabilities are fully integrated into society. And President of the Barbados Council for the Disabled, Mariah Holder-Small, is calling on government and the private sector to put the necessary measures in place to address critical areas that continue to impede the progress of such persons. Addressing a press conference to mark the launch of activities of the Month of the Disabled, Holder-Small explained that access to public transport continues to be a challenge for members.
Public transport, which is necessity to everyone, is almost impossible to access by persons with disabilities unless you are willing to pay the high cost of private transport. Our government has ratified the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, and by doing so is committed to ensuring that persons with disabilities have access on an equal basis with others to the physical environment, to transportation, to information and communication. I must reiterate at this point that sign language interpreters must be available at all public events. As a state party to the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, Barbados is obligated to begin implementation process.
The Month of the Disabled is being held under the theme Inclusion Matters, 40 Years Towards Success and Empowerment. The Council today also launched the inaugural Dorian Pyle National Literacy Competition. Industry Minister Donville Innes says government departments need to make better use of technology to speed up the way business is done in Barbados. And he's hoping that the new website launched by his Ministry of International Business at Baobab Towers yesterday will in part address the situation.
Let us not fool ourselves. In 2016, it is frightfully embarrassing to go to some government departments and see long lines of people waiting to be serviced and to be served. It is not what should be happening today. And I think sometimes there is this reluctance and this fear of using the latest tools available and this kind of media available to help us to become more efficient. The call has gone up there from our partners in the international business sector for us to have the information about what we do, the forms we use, and all related issues to be put up on this electronic platform.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Lord, these papers ain't selling at all. Get your paper. Only $2.25, get your paper. Get your paper, miss. Look, take it, I can pay for it. Barbados today, all the way.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter, that's the move for me. Stability, prosperity, we're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
Regionally, Prime Minister-designate Andrew Holness must be free to form his own cabinet. That's the view of former Jamaica leader Bruce Golding, who also dismissed talks that a one-seat majority for the Jamaica Labour Party could spell disaster for the incoming administration. The former Prime Minister told the Jamaica Observer newspaper Monday Exchange the 32-31 result of Thursday's general election must not be used as a mechanism to hold the 43-year-old Holness to ransom. His comments come as the Electoral Office of Jamaica prepares to hand over the results of the poll to the Governor General. That is expected to take place sometime today. On the international front, South Africa President Jacob Zuma survives a no-confidence vote. Government legislators defeated the motion by a big margin in Parliament on Tuesday, even as a court hears a case to reinstate 738 corruption charges against him. President Zuma's office says he will challenge the court case, which accuses him of taking a bribe. President Zuma denies the allegation linked to a multi-million-dollar arms deal negotiated over a decade ago. And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. Also, subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 101 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM. There you can get all the latest news and sports. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good evening.